Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Professors of Profit Vlogcast. I'm your host, Dr. F Scott Feil, and I'm joined by none other than Physio memes himself, Andrew Tran, to talk a little bit about dropshipping today and how he got into that side gig and side hustle and how he's kind of turning that into a full-time gig at this point, and going above and beyond the dropshipping world to venture into some other things. So, Andrew, welcome on today. I appreciate you taking your time to come talk with us. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got into drop shipping and what you're up to with that expertise these days?
Yeah, man. Appreciate you having me on. I love what you're doing. Professors of Profits, man. That's awesome. And so it's probably been about 3 years ago now since I started this whole drop shipping. A lot of the stuff that I've done is like, it's a form of drop shipping. It's print on demand. So a lot of swag. So since it's on video, like this is actually one of my original ones. Hit it, don't quit it. I was actually just done working out, but when I was about 3 years ago, 2017, it's 2020 now, and when I was trying to find like funny PT shirts or just PT shirts in general, trying to find a store online to see like where I could buy one, and there really wasn't anything out there, and I just had a few ideas in my head and wanted to just turn into a t-shirt. And the first one I actually had created was for a CrossFit competition that I had done. And it was like, we had to think of like punny names for CrossFits and stuff. And like, I had a set of, since it was in November, and we had like a Thanksgiving, themed CrossFit competition. So I just, instead of a Turkish getup, I did the Turkeys getup, and that was one of the first shirts that we had done. And I just started off, and honestly, like there's a couple different ways you can start it, but I had like a free platform that I had used it on, and was making, the first time I wore it, someone was like, "Oh, that's a cool shirt. Where'd you get that?" I was like, "Oh, I made this." And then that's kind of how I got my first sale. So that's kind of how it started. And then I had all these ideas like, "Oh, I can actually do something with this." And it's honestly like, I wasn't trying to make it a business or anything at that point. I was like, "Oh, let me just think of some other ideas. Let me put it up and see what happens." So that's kind of how like I started with it and have been, doing that since.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, you got me started basically with a swag store for PT Educator. I've got a couple of shirts, couple of hats, couple of coffee mugs up now, and I've got a second round and a second wave coming up now. I'm really just starting to focus in on and add a couple more to my website. But tell us a little bit about why you think maybe clinicians and or professors should look into drop shipping and print on demand type options as a possible side gig.
Yeah, so like as a side gig, it's very, very, very low cost. Like I said, like there are actually platforms you can actually do this for free, or you can like build your own store and have your own website. And like I do it on Shopify. The lowest amount is like $29 to have your own store. There are like nuances of like why like free if you have no money, no capital at all. But to build a brand, I would recommend doing a store. So you know, like we can go like super deep into that, but basically from the back end marketing to having people on an email list, and on the free versions you can't really build an email list, stuff like that. But the thing is, like, it's super low cost, and if you have ideas for a shirt, so you can do it on, like, you can put it on there. There's some people that I've seen that like don't even have a theme brand. They'll just like launch a bunch of shirts on this stuff and like just see what hits. But the good thing is, like, when you upload a design onto a shirt or a hat or a hoodie or a mug, whatever that may be, like it doesn't really cost you any extra to do that. And if it doesn't sell, then it just kind of sits there. So it's an easy way to just make, at the low end, like $10, $15, $20 a profit if you're selling bigger items. And to like, if you're a business, having a side hustle, and like, it helps you build your brand. So when people are wearing your stuff with social media, they're just like working out or just posting a regular picture and they're wearing one of your shirts. It just helps with brand recognition, especially honestly, like, it is cool when I see other people like wearing stuff that I have made. So for a selfish reason as well. So
Yeah, no, I love that. Andrew, what is one tip or trick, one golden nugget that you've learned over the years of working with drop shipping and print on demand type stuff? What's one thing you could give to somebody who's maybe just getting started? What's a piece of advice that you wish you knew back then that might help them get them going a little bit?
Yes. And I probably didn't do this until like maybe a year and a half ago. But the biggest thing that I've learned with this stuff, like it can be really cheap. If you want to go and just test, like you can make your own designs on, like if you have Photoshop, you can do something like that. You can also even do it on Canva at this point. They've like upgraded to make it like a little easier to do. Or you can literally just go to like Fiverr and, pay someone to do this for like a few bucks a design. Or you can pay, like, there are other sites for freelancing sites, so you can pay a little more for better designs. But basically, the biggest thing that I've learned is like to make money on this is the more products, the more designs that you have, the more opportunity you have to make money. So like I said, when you upload something, there's some shirts that I've uploaded. I've paid like 40, 50 plus dollars of design sometimes, like, oh, this has to be nice. This is exactly how I want it. And it goes out and it's crickets. And maybe you have like one sale. But then, there's some times where I've had like, I paid $5 a design and it's made me like $10,000. So, the biggest thing that I've learned when I ended up having a coach for e-commerce and like print on demand stuff, I was like, just test a lot of things. Whatever ideas you have, just put it out there and just let the market decide. And then if something's good, post more about it, put ads behind it, stuff like that. And I think the biggest thing is that whatever ideas that you have, just continue testing and just putting things out there and asking your audience what they want. And then literally like, hey, this is a cool saying on PT or whatever. And I was like, can you put it on a shirt? I'm like, yeah. So so I think the biggest thing is just keep testing and just keep putting things out there. So
yeah, I agree. Test, just like anything else these days. You got to test it. You gotta get your hands dirty a little bit and see what works and what doesn't.
Exactly, man.
Well, Andrew, thank you so much, man, for taking your time and for coming on to educate the audience a little bit about drop shipping and print on demand. You've actually blown things up to way beyond that nowadays. You're doing some business coaching. You're helping people out with their online presence and their social media. Where can people find you and reach out to you and follow up if they have any questions or if they want to find what you're doing these days? Where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can just follow. So I started off, with the print on demand stuff with Physio memes. Literally started off as a memes page, and the brand and like the vibe and everything kind of continued with those funny PT shirts. So if you're on Instagram, just follow me at physio_memes. Or if you don't have Instagram, you can always just email me at andrew@physiomemes.com. Those are probably two easy ways to reach me.
Awesome. And I'll put all those links in the show notes. Andrew, always a pleasure to talk to you, man. I appreciate seeing what you're doing and how many people you're helping these days with their businesses and getting things moving and coaching people in the right direction. So thank you for all you're doing for the profession. And it's always a pleasure to talk with you, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, brother.
Absolutely.